We're going to put our money where our mouth is and do a quick draft wizard, ideally landing Zeke in round 2. So let's give this a whirl and get it going. I'm going to try the 8 spot because that's kind of right where he'll fall, I believe, in round 2. So we'll start. I personally love Shady here. Those big 4 receivers are gone. Mike Evans just went, who I would have loved to have. But Shady, especially if I'm trying to get Zeke next round, can hold my running back core afloat. And Zeke is still on the board, RB12 right now. So, bye week 6. I'm not worried about my bye week when it comes to Zeke and Shady. This is a monstrous pairing. Let's get it going and see what kind of team we can create from here on out. Obviously, receivers could be a little weak, but we'll see how it goes. Demaryius Thomas, Mike McCoy's pepper that X receiver with the bubble screens. I think that's a great fit. I think he's fallen too low here. Looking at the running backs, looking at the other receivers, this one's a no-brainer. I'm going to build some receiver depth, get a true wide receiver 1 in my eyes, and Demaryius Thomas, already filling these gaps pretty easily with Zeke. Now, Sammy Watkins, if this was still on the Bills, would have been a no-brain selection. Now on the Rams, can't trust him this early. Not sure how he's going to fit with McVay, how his chemistry will be with Goff, whereas before we knew he was for a target hog role with the Bills with good chemistry with Tyrod. So this pick can't be made right here, Sammy Watkins. So let's keep looking. Again, now that we have Zeke, we're going to want to build our floor because, again, that's 6 weeks without a fantasy player. We're going to need to have a high floor. That being said, when you got a guy as your wide receiver 15, you feel as highly about him as I do, that being Tyreek Hill, I'm going with my boy. So I know that's a little bit risky, especially with the roster hole of Zeke here, but I think he's going to pan out, and that ceiling could actually carry me and help me win in Zeke's absence. So absolutely going Tyreek Hill. That's my boy. Let's keep looking here. So Jordan Reed, normally I think I would love this late, towards the end of round 5 for Jordan Reed. The thing is with Zeke as a whole, I can't afford to have another hole in my lineup, so I got to go look for some surer points. Guys like Edelman, Kelvin Benjamin showing some upside. I love Eric Decker personally, so I'm going to throw him in the queue, but I do want to also keep building some RB depth because I don't have a guy behind Zeke right now. Mark Ingram, high floor option to balance that out. Danny Woodhead, high floor. Tevin Coleman, high floor. So these are the type of guys I got to be looking at. Spencer Ware scoring a touchdown in his preseason debut. Looks like he has the first job on lock despite those early reports of Kareem Hunt. So those are all some options. I'm looking at tight end, and there is, Jimmy Graham, Tyler Eifert. Those guys are intriguing because tight ends do drop pretty significantly, but I don't think this is the time. I still need to keep building my running back and wide receiver depth here with my Zeke absence. So, my big board tells me I should go Eric Decker here, but I think I need to add an RB. Bilal Powell, another guy I really like. In fact, I think that's the play. Oh, man, tough. This is where, the draft gets a little bit tricky. I do like Jordan Reed, though. My 3 tight end. You know what? Screw it. Too much upside. We're not passing it up. A lot of unsure things on this team, but you play to win the championship. Now the guy I was staring at, Eric Decker, still there. We can, just wrap up our wide receiver core here. I like that move. Now it's time to load up on running backs. Bilal Powell, another guy I was considering last round. Thrilled he fell. Deshaun Jackson. Oh, we don't have a flex here in this lineup. That's unfortunate because I always do flexes. Theo Riddick, Doug Martin. Come on. Dougie Martin. No-brainer here. Now, he'd make a lot of sense, too, if I can pair him with Jaquiz Rodgers in a round or two. So that way I can have my RB2 spot literally be the Tampa Bay backfield. I like that a hell of a lot. Where to go now? Let's look at the receivers. I do love Macklin. I think he's presenting a great value this year. I think James White is a fantastic, serviceable half PPR option that's falling way too late. Still, I'm giving the edge to Macklin here. Number one receiver in an offense that led the league in pass attempts last year. I think that's a no-brainer. Let's get Macklin to some depth here. And now I think is the moment where we lock up this backfield. As much as I like James White, give me the Tampa Bay backfield for that entire first stretch of the season. Now it's time we got to find our quarterback. And look at Big Ben still here, Dak still here. I mean, what is this? Come on. Phillip Rivers, going 5 for 6, 51 yards and a TD the other day. Absolute joke. So much depth at QB that you can just keep waiting. I mean, I'm even considering right now jumping on another tight end because I do have Jordan Reed, and that's certainly nothing comforting about that as your number one. But you know what? I put Big Ben in a class of his own with these QBs along with Phillip Rivers. A little bit hesitant still, is there? Love Thomas Rawls this late too. Actually, yeah, that's the guy, the starter right now. I mean, gotta get that. All right, now the QBs are starting to come off, so I'm going to get my boy Phillip Rivers at this point. Get my QB1. Can't risk, losing out on him. And if, let's say, Dak and Tyrod and all them, they just went, I'm not going in with Andy Dalton as my QB1. Come on. And at this point, definitely makes sense to cuff up Shady. I'm nervous about an injury this year, so let's cuff him up. Look at this freaking squad. Are you shitting me? I could do this in Zeke's absence? Come on now. Oh, I went Dak? I thought I went Phillip Rivers. Wait, what is that? That's unfortunate. Well. No, Rivers was on the board. We're going backwards. Take my boy. There he is, the Phillip Rivers. That's the squad I wanted. Like Dak, no disrespect to Dak, but come on. Get my cuff now. Robbie Anderson, that's a name that just went that. Whew, maybe I shouldn't have cuffed. Maybe I should have taken Robbie Anderson instead. Kenny Galladay, another receiver, fallen quite late. Now it's just defense kicker time. Is there any defenses? Arizona, sure. Why not? Are they that much of an edge, though? Or should I just get the number one kicker? You know what? Let's get Justin. Let's throw Justin Tucker into the lineup. I'm going to be streaming defenses anyways. I actually like Philly's defense the best out of that group. Yeah, obviously I get a C because DraftKings and Draft Wizard just doesn't know what it's talking about here. But look at this lineup. You tell me I can't stay afloat throwing Bilal Powell or give me, Doug Martin. Once he's back, RB1, maybe Rawls is starting the year. There's plenty of plug-in options here. Jaquiz. And, yeah, that's not the greatest team. I mean, that's a pretty freaking good team. Jordan Reed at tight end if he's healthy. The only rival's Gronk when he's on the field. I mean, the only guy that can come close. I like it. I think this is a good squad. And this is why you can go Ezekiel Elliott and win a title in round 2. This lineup, come playoff time, disgusting, filthy, dirty.